Hi and welcome to this video. In this video we are going to be showing you how to use Python Turtle basically. And what that means is we are going to show you how to draw basic shapes using Python Turtle, and that means draw lines, draw squares, draw rectangles, draw circles and semicircles. I do not think we are going to go beyond that because we said this is the basic. So once you learn how to draw lines, how to change the direction of the turtle pen, how to draw squares, how to draw rectangles, draw circles and semicircles, you can combine all of these skills together to draw complex graphics and probably do animation. Alright, so before we jump in, first I need to explain what you find on my screen. Here it says t.clear and then it says t.reset. Now these two lines of code will help me to always clear the screen here, the white screen here, and it has my turtle here. It's going to help me clear the screen all the time. Every time I write a piece of code, it's going to clear the screen before the next piece of code runs. So that is why I have t.clear and t.reset. So t.clear is going to clear the screen and t.reset is going to place the turtle in its original position again. So that's why I have these two pieces of code there. You do not need these two pieces of code. I need these two pieces of code because of the nature of my Python application here. This is an application that I created using tkinter. That is the standard GUI library for Python. So I created this application using tkinter so that I can write my code here and then I can see the result here for Python Turtle. Alright, good. So basics of Turtle. So the first thing you should do, which I'm not going to do here because it has already been done in my application. So the first thing you should do in your Python file is to import Turtle. Like I said, I am not going to do this because I don't need it. So the first thing you should do is to import Turtle. Please, you do not need the t.clear and the t.reset code right now. These codes are specifically for me because of the kind of application I'm using. So the first thing you need to do in your own file is to import turtle as t. So that's what you need to do first. After you have done that, then we can go ahead to begin to write turtle commands. So that brings us to the first thing we want to do after importing turtle as t. Let's take a look at the default turtle direction. The turtle actually is a pen, and as you can see here, the pen has a direction. It looks like a very small arrowhead. It has a direction, and it's facing towards the right. It's facing towards the right. So that's the default turtle direction. And if I decide to draw a line right now, the line is going to be drawn in that direction. So if I say t.fd, that's t.forward by 45 units, it's going to draw a line in that direction. As you can see, it's going to draw a line in that direction because that's the current direction of the turtle. We are actually going to learn how to draw lines in all directions. So this is the first direction. Now we've been able to draw a line forwards. Now what if we want to draw a line backwards? All we have to do is change the command here. Rather than use t.fd, we would use t.bk, which is t.back. It means draw the line back. We are asking the turtle to draw the line back. So let's see how that works. Alright, good. So from the same point here, this time around, it draws the line back. It draws the line back. 45 units of length. 45 units of length. So these are two methods that we are looking at how to draw lines. We've seen how to draw a line forward, and we've seen how to draw a line backward. Very, very simple code. Very simple code. You can put lots of simplicity together to derive or to arrive at complexity. So these are two functions that you can use to draw lines. Now the next question is, what if you want to draw a line down, for example? What if you want to draw a line down, for example? So this brings us to the next concept in using turtle. We need to be able to turn the direction of the pen. Right now the pen faces right, so we need to be able to turn the direction of the pen, and what we need to do is use a method called right. We can either use right or use left. Here we will be using a method called right, so it's going to be t.right. We're saying after drawing a line 45 units long, change the direction of the turtle by 45 degrees. So let's see how this is going to happen. All right, good. That's 45 degrees. So you can see the direction of the turtle has changed, and it is tilting at an angle which is not good enough. So what we should specify rather is 90 degrees. Okay, good. So it draws the line to the right, and then it's now 90 degrees. The direction of the turtle pen turns 90 degrees to the right. This means we are ready to draw another line down. We're ready to draw another line down. So I'm going to draw another line using the command t.fd, the same length as the first line. All right, good. So we have t.fd here, 45, meaning draw a line that is 45 units long. T.right, 90 degrees. Change the direction of the turtle pen by 90 degrees so that it begins to face downward, and then draw another line in that direction. And then the next thing we need to do, it looks like we are going ahead to draw a square. The next thing we need to do is turn again the direction of turtle by 90 degrees. So if we do that, you will discover that after drawing the first two lines, the direction of turtle now faces to the left, sort of. And then we can draw the next line, t.fd, 45 units long, good. And finally, we are going to turn the direction of turtle 90 degrees. We run that. All right, good. And lastly, we are going to draw a line, t.fd, 45. And then we can run this so that we get a square. So this is how to draw a square using Python Turtle. We started by learning how to draw a simple line, and then we moved on to learn how to change the direction of the turtle so that we can draw lines in different directions and all around. So these are basic things you can learn, and then from these basic things you can move on to do complex things. Of course, there is a shorter way to do this, and there are other kinds of manipulations we can employ to change the shape. For example, I could decide to create a variable. For example, I'll create a variable called width, and the width, let's say, is 150 units, and I have another variable called height, and this variable height is 70 units. So the first line I'm going to draw is going to be for my width. So let's see how this turns out. All right, good. So this doesn't look like a rectangle because the first width is not the same, doesn't have the same value as the second width. So I'll have to come here, change this 45 to width, whose value is, the value of width is 150 units. So we have this. Very good. Very good. So what we have is the width is 150, and then the height is here 45. So I will have to use what I have here. I have to change this to height, which is 70. Change this to height, which is 70. So our rectangle is going to look bigger. Good. So these are the little manipulations you could do to manipulate your shapes. Do not forget, these are basic commands in Turtle that help you create basic shapes. Okay, we've also learned about the forward and the backward commands as well, so I do not think I have to repeat anything about that. Now the next thing we'll have to look at is drawing from a particular point on the canvas. So you need to understand that this is the canvas, this white area is the Turtle canvas where you can draw graphics. And as we draw graphics, we will realize that the drawing actually begins from a particular position. It begins from a particular point all the time. I'm going to show you how this actually works. I'm going to delete all of this, run the code again. All right, so now this is the default point from which Turtle starts to draw. You can change this point. You can change the beginning point of your drawing. To do that, we can use t.setPose. SetPose is a short form of set position, and the set position function takes two arguments. The first argument is the x coordinate, and the second argument is the y coordinates. This is why we said Python Turtle can be used as an educational material to help people learn about mathematics, geometry. So if I say 50 units, if I say 50, if I say the x coordinates should be 50 and the y coordinates should also be 50, that is going to reflect in the position of the turtle pen. I think it's going to move forward and it's going to move up. So let's see. Okay, good. It moves forward and then it moves up. So this is the new position of the turtle. But there is an issue here. We want the position to be changed without turtle drawing a line. So you're going to quickly learn of another function. It's going to be t.penUp. T.penUp. So when you raise the pen up, you can actually move the turtle around the canvas without drawing any line. So I can do this again. So this time around, that line is not drawn. We do not need it to draw the line. We just need to change the position of the turtle. So to change the position of the turtle without drawing a line, you can do this function. You can use the function penUp. So the pen is not touching on the canvas, and as a result, it cannot draw any line. So we have t.penUp, and then we set the position of the turtle on the screen. If we wanted to go further, I could set the x coordinates to 250. So this is just going to move forward the more. All right, good. So we have 250, x coordinates 250, y coordinates 50. If I want to move the turtle down the more, I would have to manipulate the y coordinates value, and it's going to be a negative value because a positive value takes it up. So this is something else we should pay attention to. For the y coordinates, the positive value moves it to the right and the negative value will move it to the left. For the y coordinate, the positive value moves it up and the negative value moves it down. All right, good. So the turtle is here now. The turtle is here now. Okay, so we can actually start our drawing from here. But first, you need to do the t.penUp function and then set the position of the turtle. Once you have done that, you can now choose where to start drawing your shapes. Okay, so this is custom coordinates. You have customized the coordinates to change from the original 0, 0. We already covered how to draw a square and a rectangle. We have covered that, so you can practice how to draw squares and rectangles and do other things. We've also covered how to change the direction of the turtle. So right now we can actually move to, yes, we can move to a faster way to draw a square. A faster way to draw a square, where we don't even have to specify the height in a variable, or specify the width in a variable. So a faster way to draw a square is to use a for loop. If you haven't experienced a for loop before, if you've never written a for loop before, you could actually go ahead, read up on for loops and then practice for loops in isolation without respect to Python Turtle. But a faster way to draw a square is to use a for loop. So a for loop looks like this. For I in range, I'm going to have 4 here. Indent 1, 2, 3, 4. So for I in range 4. For I in range t.fd, so it's going to draw a line, let's say 200 units to the right, and then t.right, it's going to change the direction of the turtle. It's going to change it by 90 degrees. So this is going to happen 4 different times. It's going to happen 4 different times. That's the essence of 4 inside of these brackets. That's the essence of 4 inside of this bracket. It means this loop is going to run 4 times. And what it simply means is this code that is highlighted is going to run 4 times. So the first time it runs, t.fd is going to draw a line 200 units long. And then turtle's direction is going to be changed by 90 degrees. It's going to run a second time, and it's going to keep running until it runs 4 different times. So when I run the code here, good. So this is a faster way to draw a square. This is a faster way to draw a square. This is a faster way to draw a square. You need a little you need more kinds of manipulation to use a for loop in drawing a rectangle. You could try that, see what works. So this is a faster way to draw a square. Let's see if we can do some other kinds of manipulation. So I would reduce this to 2. T, that's FD. Let's see, 100. T, the right. 90. So this is going to draw a rectangle for us, I hope. Good. So this draws a rectangle for us. And what I simply have done is the loop is going to run twice. So each time the loop runs, it's going to draw a width and a height. Each time it runs, it's going to draw one width, it's going to draw one height. All right. So I hope you're able to practice this and it comes out good for you. So the next thing we want to do is look at how we can draw circles using Python's tutorial. How we can draw circles and then draw semicircles. So to draw circles, it's a very straightforward. There's a very straightforward method. We have a circle method. So it's going to be t dot circle, and then you will add a number value here. Let's say, for example, I say 50. So 50 is the size of the circle. When I run this code, good, it draws this. It draws the circle. So 50 is the size of the circle. 50 specifies the size of the circle. If I want a smaller circle, I could change this to 10, and then I run the code, so my circle is smaller. I can have 100, and it draws, a larger circle. So that's how to draw a circle. And then you can draw a semicircle. To draw a semicircle, you're still going to use the circle function, but this time around, you are going to add another argument. For example, 180 degrees. So 180, or the second argument you add here, is the degrees that is specified. 50 is still going to be the size of the semicircle. Then 180 degrees is going to definitely, I think, ask the semicircle to be straight in a sense. Let's see the result. Okay, good. So it draws it like this. It's drawing it like this primarily because of the direction of the turtle. If we wanted to draw a semicircle that has an uncovered bottom, I think what we can do is change the direction of turtle. For example, I could say t to the left. Let's see if I do 90 degrees. If this changes, okay, good. T to the left, 90 degrees. So you can actually modify how your semicircle looks, which part of the semicircle is open, by changing the direction of the turtle. If I were to do 45 degrees, let's see what the result is going to amount to. All right, so that is if my turtle was tilted 45 degrees to the left. So these are the small manipulations you can do to actually achieve certain things in Python tutorial. So you've looked at how to draw circles and how to draw semicircles in Python. I just want to add one or two other things that will help you enjoy interesting drawings in Turtle before we move on to much more complex things. So one of the things you can do is you can change the size, you can change the width of the lines you draw. So to do that, it's going to be t.width. You can set the width. You can set the width to 5, and then you can draw a line t.fd. Let's have 200. So the width of the line is going to change. It's now thicker. It's now thicker and much more visible. So you can actually change the width. You can change the width. You can change it to 25. Let's see how thick it's going to get. All right, it gets thicker and it's uglier in a sense. Depending on what you're actually trying to achieve. So we can actually make the pen 3 units thick. So it still looks very good depending on what you want to draw. And then one of the things we can also do is we can change the color. So it's going to be teal.color. Change the color of a pen to red by doing this, and then t.fd 200 units to the right. And then what we have is red. So these are small manipulations that you should understand. And when you can put all of these manipulations together, you can create something complex and something very good. We are going to be stopping the class here, but before we do that, I'm going to show you something interesting. I hope I remember how to do this. What I want to do now is draw a series of circles that are intertwined, sort of. So I'm going to create a variable called spiral, and my spirals will be 8. And then I'm going to create a variable called norm, whose value is going to be 0. And then I'm going to say while norm is less than spiral, indent. Now, for those of you who are using IDLEs to write your code, you do not have to indent yourself. The IDLE automatically indents for you. So while norm is less than spiral, what do? I'm going to say t.circle, draw a circle. Draw a circle. I haven't specified the size of the circle, so I'm going to specify the size of the circle. Create a variable called C, and then the size of my circle is going to be 50. And then I'm going to say C. I'm going to say C. We are likely not going to see much change here. And then I'm going to increment norm by 1. So when I run this script, it's going to keep drawing the line. So this is not really interesting, except that the action is being repeated over and over again. It's being repeated over and over again. So one thing I'm going to do here too is change the speed of the turtle so that this is faster. So I'm going to have 60, speed of 60. Let's quickly see what this does. Very fast, very fast, very fast. All right. To make this much more interesting is I want the circles to be separate. I want us to see the 8 different circles that have been drawn. So how do I manage to achieve that? I need to create a variable called pose, and inside of pose, what I have is 0 and 0. These are the original positions from which the turtle is going to start drawing the circle. So pose is 0, 0. And then once the first circle is drawn, what I want to do is set the position t.pose. Sorry, t.setPose. I'm going to set the pose to pose. And to actually make this work, I have to manipulate the x value. I have to manipulate the x coordinates. There are lots of things that I may not be able to explain here. You just have to write the code and then it's going to work. I have to gradually increase the x coordinates by 10 so that the circle, each circle that is drawn after the first is going to be drawn just 10 units from the first. So let's see what happens as I run. Good. So this is what happens when I run. This is what happens when I run the script. I have been able to change some of the code values here, and this is the result. This is the result. This is the result. Now, one other thing I could do is I could create a variable of colors. So here I can have red, I can have green, I can have blue, I can have yellow. That's 4 colors. Okay, good. Let me see if I can get 8 different colors. I can have teal, I can have pink, and then I can have gray. How many colors do we have now? 2, 4, 6, 7. One more color, and then I can have purple. Okay, good. So I have 8 colors. So I can change the pen color each time. I can change the pen color each time. So here, I'm going to cut this piece of code here and place it right here. And then what I'm going to do is specify colors. Then I'm going to do this and place none in here. Alright, so let's see the effect of this. Good, so we have different colors. We have circles of different colors. Now this is not very interesting because we've not been able to create a very good design out of this, but this shows you how you can actually manipulate shapes and objects in Python Turtle and create very good graphics. So this is still an introduction. We have not been able to do much. In the next video, we should be able to create very interesting graphics and probably work on one or two animation concepts, and then you can carry on from there, do great things with Python Turtle. So thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it.